Hello, everybody. So let's talk about meditation. A few people have asked me about meditation, and I'm not an expert. I've been meditating on and off my whole life, but mostly off. Okay. For the last 6 years, I've been very consistent. I meditate twice a day for 40 minutes. Now, there's different meditation techniques. I think probably people are familiar with them. I'm not sure if I should go into different ones. Maybe I'll do a different video. But I thought one thing I could be useful to talk about, my experience with using technology to meditate. So first of all, when I was trying to get into meditation throughout my life, I didn't. I did it for a few weeks, and I dropped it and did it again and dropped it. But I really only got consistent and really developed a real practice with actually one of these apps. I'm not sure if I should mention it because I don't really want to advertise stuff. But, you've got these, I think there's Calm and there's Headspace and there's Insight Timer. And I used Headspace to get started, and then afterwards I use Insight Timer for the timer, which I still use now. Headspace was good to get me started because it gamified meditation, and the guy Andy Puddicombe's voice is very relaxing. So after years of trying, I was able to. It tells you, oh, you haven't meditated today. And I started very, very small, just a few minutes, and worked up to 10 minutes, and then to 20, and then to 30, and then 40, then twice a day, 40. And that's what I'm doing now. Now, I had, for about 5 or 6 years, I've been doing that. And it's great. I think that was mainly the reason why I really started, the non-duality really started to work for me, because because of the way when you sit in meditation, the thoughts arise and go away, you see that you're not really controlling them. It's not like as we normally think, I am my thoughts. These things are completely beyond my control. I can't predict what thought's going to come up next. They could be anything. It's almost like they're completely independent to me. Now, so what I did, I got very serious, and as I do with lots of things, and I was listening to all these people talk about it, and I thought I heard of some really strict meditators, and to be honest, I'm not sure if I believe them anymore, but one of them was saying that he put himself in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, when you're completely blank of everything, for 2 weeks or something, and he used an EEG machine to measure, and apparently the EEG machine said that his brain was like brain dead. So I got this EEG machine. It was a Muse machine. There are other there are other EEG machines available, and it's a medical grade, apparently, medical grade EEG machine. So you put it on strap on your head, and I'd been meditating for maybe 3 years before I tried this. And it transmits to your phone your brain waves, and the app on your phone. If you lose concentration, you hear this rain starting, shh, because you're wearing headphones connected to your phone. And if you focus, you hear birds singing. And this is a real thing. You can actually get a robot with the other device, which I don't remember the name of. You can actually control a robot with your mind. You just work out, how did I make that move? Oh, I'll do it again. Okay, yep. And you can make the robot move. So it's a real thing, and it does work. But my experience was, basically, before I started with the Muse device, I thought in the 40 minutes meditation I was doing, I got deeper and deeper into relaxation. Then when I started the Muse device, I noticed that it was just rain all the time. It was just, I couldn't get it to, I couldn't get the birds to sing. I was trying to focus. I was focusing on my breathing. Before that, I'd done kind of more relaxed meditation, but in order to try to get it right, I was focusing on my breathing. and to such a degree that my forehead sometimes would twitch, and this is just not good. Then I discovered that instead of calibrating the device with your eyes closed, as you should do, so when you first put it on every day, you have to wet these sensors, and then you put it on, and you have to calibrate it. So you close your eyes, and it calibrates to how you are that day. Well, to your brainwaves. How strong they are, I don't know really. But I heard a trick off a video of some guy who talks about these EEG machines, that you can calibrate with your eyes open. So it's a lot more stimulus. So I started calibrating with my eyes open. So I'd calibrate the device with my eyes open, then I'd close my eyes for the meditation. And in that way, I did get birds singing. So I got quite a lot of birds singing, and some rain. But then I really noticed that things that I thought before, like if somebody rang me while I was meditating, before I did the Muse, I thought, oh, you've ruined my meditation. Now I'm going to go back to being awake again, or alert, and it'll take me a while to get back into it. I noticed that with the Muse device, that my phone rang or answered a message, and it was exactly the same as before. It was like it didn't impact. I even remember once the sun was in my eyes and I actually got up, closed the blind, and sat down again, and the Muse device didn't register any problems. It was birds, birds, birds. And then another thing was that really, some days were really good. Some days it was just birds singing all the time, to the point that I knew I was thinking about things. I knew my mind was getting distracted, and yet it was still birds singing. And then other days when I just did the same, I felt, relaxed. I didn't feel like I drank too much coffee or anything, but for some reason my mind was just active, apparently. Not that it felt like that to me. For me, it felt calm. But it was just rain, 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 rain. And then rain never went away. And I got really into just trying to get the birds singing. Oh, I've got rain. I need to get the birds singing. And this is not what you're supposed to be doing in meditation. It's I did it for over a year, and at the end I really had trouble stopping, for the same reason that I was able to start with the Headspace app. This app, the Muse app, counts your days as well, and I didn't want to miss a day. I didn't want to ruin my 400 day run of meditating and get back to the count. You've done one day, so I just couldn't stop it. And in the end I did. In the end I was just like, this is not working. I am just thinking about rain and birds and getting stressed about this stuff. And so I just took it off. I just started meditating normally, and it was such a relief. It was so good. And maybe I learned some things. I learned that my mind, it doesn't really matter if you have to do something in the middle of your meditation. It's not going to ruin everything, as I thought before. So at least I learned that. But I sat there afterwards meditating, and I didn't even follow my breath. I was just there in the moment. And thoughts came and they went, and that's how it was. Sometimes I found myself, I was following thoughts, and I've been thinking about something for the last 6 minutes. But it was a relief, and it really, really helped. So these things are expensive, and I actually, because I was doing it 40 minutes twice a day, you have to replace the band. It has the transmitter in the middle, but the band, it gets worn and stops working, and then it doesn't calibrate properly. And you're sitting there going, oh, calibrate, please calibrate, just calibrate. Before you do your meditation, which is not good. And then you have to I had to buy another strap halfway through after a few months, about 6 months. And then after that, I was super careful with it, keeping it flat and not bending it. So that was my experience. Now I meditate, partly influenced by Jean Klein's style of meditation, of sitting there, being welcomed to sit, and a mix of Shikantasa. Soto Zen has the style of Zazen, which is you're just sitting, and you just sit there. And I don't count my breath. I do to get into it. I follow my breath. And then if I am very distracted, and sometimes I will go back to following my breath, but basically I just sit there. I don't know if it's very good. Some guy in the comments, a very nice person, said that they'd been meditating for 45 years, and I just can't imagine how rubbish I am compared to somebody like that. But it's definitely worth it. And I hope this has been useful. I hope it saves you a bit of money. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.